It's the FPHL Semifinals from Danbury Arena, and we are minutes away from puck drop. Welcome in to the Danbury Hat-Tricks playoff pregame show presented by Sal's Pizza here on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. My name is Josh Starr, and we will have a good series in store. The Hat-Tricks escape round one against the Binghamton Black Bears and will host the Columbus River Dragons in game one of the FPHL Commissioner's Cup semifinals. The Hat-Tricks started off with an overtime loss in game one in the first round against Binghamton, had to return home and win two in a row, and boy did they do that. It came down to the final 13 seconds of game two before the Hat-Tricks tied the game with Steve Mealy, who had 4 goals in the series, and then Nick Levesque won it in overtime. On Wednesday night, the Hat-Tricks led with 3 goals in the first. Binghamton made it close in the end, but the Hat-Tricks prevailed 5-3 to advance to the FPHL semifinals. A regular season record of 36-22-3, 105 points, and a .574 points percentage. It was third in the league, but the Columbus River Dragons, they finished second in the FPHL, 32-17-5, 101 points and a .623 points percentage. We're in store for a great series, a best of 3 in the second round and the semifinal round of these FPHL playoffs. In the first series, the storylines for the Hat-Tricks, it was penalties and special teams. The Hat-Tricks, they were 1 for 15 on the power play in the first round. The penalty kill, 15 for 21. The Hat-Tricks outscored 6-1 on the power play in that series against the Black Bears. But the Hat-Tricks come away with a win, and the big story tonight, Pete DeSalvo out of the lineup for the Hat-Tricks with an illness. He will not be on the ice or on the bench tonight. It will be Brian Wilson in net for the Hat-Tricks with Frankie McClendon backing up. And in the first series, it was Pete DeSalvo, 35 saves in game one and 36 out of 39 in game three. Brian Wilson comes in. He was not bad in the regular season, 11-5-0, an .894 save percentage, .310 goals against. The Hat-Tricks are going to need a couple of saves from Brian Wilson tonight to advance or to get off to a great start in this series. And the Hat-Tricks, they have the first game at home, the next 2 on the road in this series. Sunday and Tuesday, if necessary, will be in Georgia, in Columbus. The Hat-Tricks have to take care of business in their home game tonight. Columbus, will they come in, like I said, second place in the league, and with the league's top defense, only 161 goals allowed in 54 games. That's 3 per game. And Bailey McBurney in net, a .917 save percentage. That was tops among qualified goalies in the FPHL. This Columbus team, they're dangerous at home, 25-3 during the season. That is points in 23 out of 28 home games during the regular season, but on the road, 12-12-2 in visiting arenas. So the Hat-Tricks really have to capitalize before going back to a tough building to play in. The Hat-Tricks great at home as well. Danbury throughout the season, 24-6, added 2 wins in the playoffs, so 26-6-0 the Hat-Tricks are during the regular, or at home during this season overall. During the regular season, these teams played 6 times, 3 in Danbury, 3 in Columbus. The Hat-Tricks won 2 out of 3 at home. The River Dragons won 2 out of 3 at home. The Columbus win in Danbury, it was a 5-2 victory for Columbus. And the Hat-Tricks win in Columbus, that was a 3-2 shootout win with Brian Wilson in net for Danbury. The Hat-Tricks, again, the special teams are going to be a key in this series. The Hat-Tricks were 6th on the power play and 4th on the penalty kill during the regular season. Columbus, the best penalty kill in the league, the 2nd best power play in the league. So we will see how that plays out in this series. The Hat-Tricks needing to, 1, stay out of the box, and 2, convert on the power play. And the keys to this series for Danbury, 1, like I just said, stay out of the box and convert on the power play. 2, it's going to come down to who can make the opposition pay for mistakes. Both of these, the Columbus team is very sound in its own zone. Like I said, the best defense in the league, giving up the lowest amount of goals during the regular season. The Hat-Tricks have to find a way to get some pucks past Bailey McBurney. It will be traffic in front of the net, and it will be patience for Danbury. Cannot let frustration creep in if McBurney starts to make a few saves in a row. For the Hat-Tricks, going to need saves from the goaltenders in this series. Brian Wilson tonight with DeSalvo out. And Wilson, he has a win against Columbus this year. The Hat-Tricks only won on the road against the River Dragons, and he will look to add a home win to the ledger here tonight. That'll do it for the pregame show here on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. When we come back, we will get you set for puck drop with the starting lineups and the start of the game. Coming up on the Hat-Tricks YouTube, Game 1, the FPHL semifinals between the Hat-Tricks and the River Dragons. The Danbury Hat-Tricks made it through round one and are on to the semifinals. It starts tonight in Danbury Ice Arena. The Hat-Tricks host the Columbus River Dragons for Game 1 of the Commissioner's Cup semifinal series. Danbury comes in after winning round one against the Binghamton Black Bears in 3 games, winning game 3 5-3 at home on Wednesday night. After losing game 1, the Hat-Tricks responded with 2 victories, including a goal to tie game 2 with 13 seconds left in regulation. The Hat-Tricks went on to win in overtime and have made it into the semifinals against the number 2 seed Columbus River Dragons. The top defense in the FPHL allows just 3.0 goals per game, with the top goalie in the league in Bailey McBurney with a .917 save percentage. My name is Josh Starr. So excited to bring you playoff hockey here on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel, presented by Sal's Pizza in Bethel. Starting lineups tonight from PR Electric. It is Alex Storjahan starting off, Ian White and Edgars Ozolinch, the D pair for Columbus. Up front for the River Dragons, Josh Petrantonio, as well as Jagger Williamson and Austin Doe. In goal, like I said, Bailey McBurney. For the Hat-Tricks, Brian Wilson starting in net for Danbury. Over the course of the regular season, an 11-5-0 record, .894 save percentage, a .310 goals against, and he slides in with Pete DeSalvo out of tonight's game. Starting up front for the Hat-Tricks, the top line, Johnny Ruiz, centers Gordy Bennell and Nick Levesque. Levesque scored the overtime winner in game 2 of the first round. Johnny Ruiz, the captain, 3 goals and 4 points in the first round win. On defense for the Hat-Tricks, Johnny McDonald and Garrett Gallagher. Head coaches tonight for Columbus, it is Jerome Bichard. For the Hat-Tricks, head coach Dave McIsaac, his first year behind the Danbury bench and looking to win the second series in Hat-Tricks history this week after winning the first one in the first round against the Binghamton Black Bears. We'll step aside. When we come back, it is game 1 of the FPHL semifinals, the Hat-Tricks and the River Dragons, next.
It's about commitment to the game, just making your organization and the league better. No better person than this guy, Billy McCreary. Governor's Award winner.
It's been a long 3 years since we started this organization. A great week last week. Let's finish the job here today, boys. Let's go.
There is Billy McCreary being honored before the game for winning the FPHL Founders Award, as well as a couple other hat tricks getting their end of season awards. Here's the national anthem, and then we'll have the puck drop coming up next. Set for puck drop in Danbury. It's game one of the FPHL semifinals. The Danbury Hat Tricks and the Columbus River Dragons. The Hat Tricks won round one in 3 games against the Binghamton Black Bears. The Columbus River Dragons had a bye in the first round and come to Danbury for game one of the semifinals. Games 2 and 3, if necessary, will be back in Columbus, Georgia. But tonight, the Hat Tricks look to take care of business at home. In their home black jerseys, the Hat Tricks will go left to right in the opening period. Columbus wearing the colorful light blue and red trim sweaters, the black across the shoulders, and the Columbus River Dragon logo right across the chest. Black buckets for Columbus. The River Dragons will move right to left. Ruiz will take the opening draw against Jagger Williamson for Columbus, and we are underway in game one of the FPHL semifinals. Columbus works right to left into the hat trick zone. It's tipped away by Wilson. Turn around behind the net, and Gallagher will dump it out to center. Taking over there, Ian White will turn ahead up the far wing. Petrantonio off to Williamson into the hat trick's end. Levesque intercepts and banks out to center. Swatted right back in by White and turned all the way around the far boards. Chasing in is Williamson behind the hat trick's net. Stuffs it out in front up to the point. It will be White who shoots it wide. 30 seconds in, no score. Game 1 of the FPHL semis. In the near corner, Petrantonio pinned against the wall by Garrett Gallagher. The Hat-Tricks turn it up the boards. Levesque trying to get up and out of the zone, cannot get it past Bersani. It goes behind the Danbury net. McDonald will rip it up the wall, but now takes over at center. He'll chip it forward into the Columbus zone. A minute into play in the first, and Columbus ices the puck 58 seconds in. Hat-Tricks will get their first chance in the offensive zone. To our right, Bailey McBurney looks on to his left for this face-off. No score early in Game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. Steve Mealy steps out onto the ice. 4 goals in the opening series for Mealy against Bersani. Mealy wins it back. Tom will put it toward the point, but it's intercepted. Graham into the Hat-Tricks end, right side, plays through the goal mouth. It goes all the way into the corner. Aaron Atwell out to center, can't get it to Kuznetsov. It's stuffed back in on goal. Near corner, Hat-Tricks end to the left. Atwell turns it behind the net for Brown to tip up the far wing. Tom Mealy takes it back behind his own net, and it's taken away by Columbus. Back to the point. It is out to center, tipped by the Hat-Tricks. Vanelli will take over. Carter back at his own end, 90 seconds in, no score. Out to center, and it's kicked down by Atwell. Turned ahead, but Columbus will take over. Krupp across the Hat-Tricks line, right side, far circle, will shoot, and it is smothered by Wilson. His second save of the night, 1:40 into the first, no score. Columbus has not allowed the Hat-Tricks to get through the neutral zone so far in the first minute 40. Hat-Tricks will send the third line out for the first time in this game. And it will be Corey Anderson who takes the draw. He wins it back behind his own net. Pepe across for Oliver, who outlets the center. Tipped in by Ojic, who is turned in on goal, and McBurney will cover up. 1:51 into the second, no score. Ojic tipping that puck in on goal. 2-goal game in Game 3. 3 goals in 2 games during the first series. The Hat-Tricks rookie gets the job done in the playoffs, and he's back in the lineup for Game 1. Anderson near circle, offensive end to the right, wins the draw, 150 in, and it goes out to center. Oliver will retreat to our left to take over. Pepe up the far wall, banked ahead past Anderson. It goes all the way down, icing called against the Hat-Tricks. 2:03 into play. No score early on in Danbury. Game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. Hat-Tricks and River Dragons. Face-off will come down. Hat-Tricks end, far circle. Wilson looks on to the left. Anderson will take for the Hat-Tricks. Williamson for Columbus. And the Hat-Tricks will win the draw back with Corey Anderson. It goes behind the cage. Pepe sealed off. Oliver takes over near corner. Will chip it high in the air out to center. Petrantonio plays with a high stick, and they'll blow it dead. 2:13 into the first. No score. Face-off will move out to the neutral zone.
First hat-trick goal, Chucker Carrots to center ice, closest to the center dot, takes on the t-shirt. This is the only arena in America you can throw a carrot.
Face-off will be at the near side in the neutral zone, just in front of the Hat-Tricks bench, outside the Danbury zone. To our left, it's Johnny Ruiz, the top line, back out for the Hat-Tricks against Jagger Williamson at the dot. Hat-Tricks in Game 1 of the FPHL semis, the second round of the playoffs. The face-off won at center by Columbus and ripped around by White. Turned up the near side, batted down by Gallagher. Levesque will turn on the backhand out to center. Taken in the neutral zone by Ozelinch, turned across White, and it's tipped into the Hat-Tricks end. Williamson, side of the net. It is Wilson to try and play. He turns it over to shot out in front. He saves it, and the Hat-Tricks move out. Left to right. Levesque chasing into the neutral zone. Lost control. Gallagher will find it and rip it in. Hat-Tricks changing. Ruiz will barrel in far wing. Tips out toward the slot, and Williamson takes out for Columbus. Up the right wing, across the Hat-Tricks line. It's turned by into the near corner. Ian White, the former NHL veteran, will play up the near wing, and it is taken down low, and the Hat-Tricks will take over. Tipped up the far wall. Vanelli will chase back for it into his own zone. 3:05 into the first. No score. Vanelli will work up the near wing. Turned over. Steve Mealy back down low into the corner. He couldn't find Kuznetsov. 2 hat tricks converge, and Columbus finds the puck. Vanelli up the right wing. Speeding through the neutral zone. Tipped in by Moskal. In on goal. Wilson will cover with 16:37 left in the first. Scoreless in Danbury, the Hat Tricks, and River Dragons in Game 1 of the semifinals. Columbus, the rested team, did not have to play the first round. The Hat Tricks played 6 games in 7 days, with the last few of the regular season and 3 in the first round. Graham takes it side of the net off the faceoff. Wilson able to slide to his right and cover up the post. It goes out to center. 3.5 into the first, no score. Columbus with the better of the chances so far. Tipped right back into the Hat Tricks end to the left by Vanelli. He'll chase behind the Danbury net. Moskal on the near wing, rips it toward the front. It's tipped away, and Wilson can't hold it, but the Hat Tricks will make it out to center. Moskal intercepts in the neutral zone. Graham right back into the Hat Tricks end. Right circle converged upon by 2 Hat Tricks, and Brown will take the puck ahead. It's a penalty called against Danbury. Atwell in front, called for a slash, and Columbus will get the first power play of this series. It was an issue in the first round for the Hat Tricks, and it continues in round 2. The Hat Tricks penalty kill gave up 6 goals in the first round and 21 chances against the Binghamton Black Bears. The Columbus power play second in the league at 20.1% during the regular season. Far side, Columbus wins the draw in the Hat Tricks end. Turn near wing. Krupp can't handle it. The Hat Tricks will swat all the way down. 4:10 into the first, no score. 15 seconds into a kill for Danbury. Ian White will start up right to left. Off to the left wing, Petrantonio. Left side into the Hat Tricks end. On one hand, he'll play it in deep. Krupp will cycle back, but Columbus is offside, and the Hat Tricks will take over. 4.5 into the first, 30 into a kill. Gallagher will turn up the far side to Oliver, who banks to center. Petrantonio will take over in his own zone. White up the far side. Columbus with 1:15 left on a power play. Williamson across the Hat Tricks line. Swings to the far hash marks. Back to the point, right side, White. Down to the circles, across Petrantonio. One-timer, way wide into the corner. Williamson there will turn it against the wall, and McDonald will chip it up and out all the way down. Halfway through the penalty kill for the Hat Tricks. Atwell off for a hook 5 minutes into the first, and no score in Game 1 of the FPHL semis. Columbus up the left wing on the power play for another 45. Into the zone, Moskal shot tipped wide by Wilson. It goes onto the near wall. A big hit by the Hat Tricks and Ojic. Steve Brown finds the puck and will play it ahead to the neutral zone. McDonald twirls, fires it in. The Hat Tricks get the clear. 30 seconds to go on the Columbus power play. 5.5 into a scoreless first in Game 1. Right side up the far wing. It is played all the way down, and icing called against Columbus. And that will be our first break tonight. Early in the first of Game 1, no score. The Hat Tricks on the kill for another 23 seconds when we come back.
The king of the city.
5:35 into the first period. The River Dragons on the power play for another 23 seconds. Josh Starr with you. Game 1 of the FPHL semifinals in Danbury tonight. The Hat Tricks with an offensive zone draw on the kill. Johnny Ruiz will take it. He wins it forward into the corner, and it's taken along there by Vanelli. Ruiz keeps it along the wall behind the Columbus net. Vanelli will retrieve and take up the ice. Graham on the right wing, speeds through center, weaving into the Hat Tricks end, leaves it left wing. Moskal at the circle, down low to his forehand, a backhand, and he banks it off the side of the net. Wilson able to hold on at the post. He almost banked it in off Wilson, but he held the puck under his right skate to keep it out of the net. 5:54 into the first. The Hat-Tricks with 3 seconds left on the kill. And a close call in the Danbury zone, but Wilson able to hold on. 14:06 to go in the first period. No score. Hat-Tricks with a defensive zone draw. Ruiz against Storjahan. It's won by the Hat-Tricks. Atwell out of the box. Hat-Tricks back to full strength 6 minutes into the first. Atwell finds the puck out of his own end and works left to right through center. At the red line, he chips in McBurney as it takes a carom off the end boards. We'll have to play it from the side of his net out. Storjahan across center into the Hat-Tricks end. Stopped at the line, turned near wing. Gallagher will chip up and out. Racing after it into the Columbus end is Bunnell, but it goes for an ice against the Hat-Tricks. 6:21 into the first, no score. Hat-Tricks get the first kill of the night. Back at full strength. A penalty kill that gave up 6 goals to the league's best regular season power play in Game 1 in Binghamton. Able to stop the league's second best power play on its first chance in Game 2. Far circle, Hat-Tricks end to the left. 6:21 into the first, no score. Ruiz against Underwood. It's won by the Hat-Tricks, turned up the near wall. Levesque will pin it against the boards, trying to work it forward out of the zone. He's converged upon by Smith and Ozolinch. It's turned back. Pepe takes over for Danbury. Far wing, Gallagher will spin out of his own end and work to center up the left side. Stopped in the neutral zone by White. It's turned forward. Hat-Tricks bat it back in to the Columbus end. White retrieves there, will play up the far wall. It is taken by Smith toward the Hat-Tricks end. Steve Mealy takes over at his own blue line. Hat-Tricks move left to right, cross ice feed to the far wing. McDonald into the offensive end. Dumps in near corner. It is Grade who goes behind the net. White turns it up the far side, and Columbus will take out. 7 minutes into the first. Doe into the Hat-Tricks end, left side. The shot blocked by Steve Brown, who went to a knee, and the Hat-Tricks will take out the center. Tom Mealy gains the red line. His dump in goes off Kuznetsov into the Columbus crease, and McBurney will turn it aside. 12.5 to go in the first. Columbus will play out to center into the Hat-Tricks end. Atwell goes back behind his own net. He circles by and plays up the far wing. It's Steve Mealy working across the Columbus line. Far side, his backhand down low behind the net. Tom out in front. It's tipped away. Steve has it back. Far circle. Down low out in front for Kuznetsov on the backhand. Stopped by McBurney left leg. Rebound to the slot, and Columbus clears it up. Pepe across the keep in. It's up the near wall, and Nolan will push to center for the River Dragons. 12 minutes left in the first. Game 1 scoreless of the semifinals. Anderson will tip into the Columbus end to the right. Carter back for it for the River Dragons. It's out to center. On edge, rolling into the Hat-Tricks end. Easton Oliver will settle all the way back behind his own net. Turning out in front of his own net. Almost lost control with Bersani streaking in, but the Hat-Tricks work out to center. And icing waved off as Columbus tried to play the puck. Deep into the Dragons end, it is Carter taking over in his own corner. 11.5 to go in the first, no score. And Carter will slowly and patiently start the breakout from behind his own net. Turned up the far side, Vanelli turned it over to the Hat-Tricks. Ojic right back into the Columbus end. No score early. Ojic forces another turnover. The rip in front, and it is gloved by McBurney. Ojic forced 2 turnovers on that shift. Got a snapshot away from a pretty good distance, and McBurney caught it with the glove. 8:43 into the first, and the Hat-Tricks and Dragons tied scoreless. Ruiz taking the draw, far circle, offensive end. Hat-Tricks push it forward down low. Columbus will take over and turn it up the near wall. Storjahan out to center, right to left. On the near wing, across far side, he backhands into the Hat-Tricks end. Group chases McDonald as well for the Hat-Tricks up the far wall. White takes over from the hash mark, shoots it wide. Onto the near boards, Levesque in to crash along the wall and try to pin the puck against it. Gets it back to McDonald, cannot clear. Ozolinch walks in, the shot off Gallagher's backside and into the far boards. Bunnell there for the hat-tricks to work to center. His pass ahead out of the reach of Levesque. Goes in toward goal. McBurney went to play it, so no icing. Hat-tricks converge on it. Right side, Levesque will play it toward the front, and it is turned wide of the net. Tom Mealy, far side, has the rebound. Back to the point, all the way across. Gallagher, right side, will shoot on goal. It is gloved down. The rebound, and McBurney able to find it and cover up. A knuckling puck from Garrett Gallagher on the right wing, and McBurney struggled with it, but able to cover the rebound before any hat trick could get to it. 10:25 to go in the first period. No score in game one. Right wing at the circle. Steve Mealy, offensive end, to take the face-off. He wins it back at the point. Lazaro can't handle it, and it goes all the way down. 10:15 to go in the first period. No score. Steve Brown in his own end, pestered by Williamson across behind the net. Lazaro up the wall, and it's chipped through to the neutral zone. Gray takes over for the Dragons up the near wing. Nolan through center. Williamson across the hat-tricks line will slide it down low. Taken behind the net by Petrantonio, and Doe will chase in. Tom Mealy behind the net on one knee. Cannot keep the puck in alive for the hat-tricks. It's played back to the point from Petrantonio. It goes past Nolan. He has to race back for it. 9:45 to go in the opening period of this series. No score yet. Nolan on the right side out of his own end will play across Petrantonio. Tipped by Doe at the hat-tricks line, and Pepe will knock it back toward Columbus ice. Vanelli back in his own end at the circle. It is tipped up through the neutral zone. Bronner intercepts and rips it back in. Ojic chases far wing, lets it go for Anderson, cuts to the circle. The wrist shot trickles just wide off McBurney into the corner. Bronner can't find the puck, and it's chipped out to center by Columbus. Hat-tricks seem to be getting their legs a little bit early on in this one. 9:10 left in the first. No score. Hat-tricks being outshot 7-5 so far. Easton Oliver from behind his own net across far wing. Pepe back behind the net for Oliver, who struggles with the puck in his skates and tries to kick it forward. It is turned over. Out in front, Bersani, the shot. It is stopped by the hat-tricks into the corner. Ojic will chip it up and out at center. Vanelli will glove it down and will start back toward the hat-tricks end. He rips it off a teammate. It bounces into the far corner. 8:35 to go in the first. No score. Oliver along the far wall has Ojic to help dig it off the wall, and he does. It is Pepe up the far wing to Ojic into the offensive zone. Ojic will wrist on goal, gloved by McBurney, and he'll hold on. 8:23 left in the first. No score in Danbury. Game one of the FPHL semifinals. We'll be right back. .23 left in the opening period from Danbury. No score early on in game one. The hat-tricks send the top line out for an offensive zone face-off on the far circle in the Columbus zone to our right. Underwood for Columbus. Ruiz for the hat-tricks wins it back. On the corner, it's Levesque. Turning down low behind the cage. Ruiz looking out in front. It's knocked away and turned up the wing by Columbus out to center. Gallagher passes back ahead to Ruiz. Fans on the dump in. Crashes in and works the puck at the Columbus bench. Storjahan will find it and play it back into the hat-trick zone. Far wing out at center. Hat-tricks touch pass. 3-on-2 for Danbury. Levesque into the zone. Right wing. Looking at the circle, feeds it all the way through the goal mouth. He had Bunnell streaking, but it goes all the way through. Storjahan back the other way, right to left, across the hat-tricks line. Cuts down low toward the front of the net. The shot tipped away by Wilson into the corner. 7:45 to go in the first. No score. The game has opened up in the last few seconds. Near wing, Ruiz will blast down, and Levesque goes down in the neutral zone. He is a little bit slow getting up. grabbing his face, and he is pointing for 4 minutes. He is bleeding, Nick Levesque. It will be a 4-minute high sticking penalty against Alex Storjahan. The Hat-Tricks to their first power play of the semifinals, as Storjahan will go off for a high stick. Levesque off to get repairs behind the Hat-Tricks bench, so he will not be available at least for the start of the power play. A power play that went 1 for 15 in the opening round, but Levesque was the one who scored that goal in overtime of game 2. Seems to be okay, getting a drink of water on the bench, and will get his repairs behind the Danbury bench. Hat-Tricks head to the power play, 7:36 to go in the first. No score, Danbury wins the draw. Tom Mealy, right point, back down low, far side for Kuznetsov. Steve Mealy barrels in behind the net. It's banked up the wall. Lazaro keeps it in. Down low at the circle. Kuznetsov has it hop over his stick. Backhands behind the net. Steve Mealy takes it out of the corner. Will take it up the far circle to the hash mark. To the point. Lazaro across Tom Mealy near wing. Will go down low. The shot off a body in front. Backhand in front. Steve Mealy. It's blocked by Nolan. Trickles to the front of the net. And Columbus will cover up with McBurney. 27 seconds into the power play for the Hat-Tricks. And still no score. Levesque right back on the ice with the top unit as Danbury switches lines. Top unit of Ruiz, Bunnell, Levesque, McDonald, and Gallagher with 7:09 left in the first, 3:33 left on a double minor to Alex Storjahan. Back to the point, Hat-Tricks control off the face-off. Gallagher serves down low behind the cage, hops over Levesque's stick into the corner. White will chip up the wall, kept in by McDonald. Turns side of the cage, McBurney will cover up as Levesque was in, jabbing away at that puck. 6:55 to go in the first, 3:19 on the Hat-Tricks power play in a scoreless game so far. Hat-Tricks in. Black Bears got a little bit testy toward the end of the series. Hat-Tricks and River Dragons played just 6 times during the regular season and none since the beginning of March. Teams have to build up that animosity. It won't be short in the playoffs. The Hat-Tricks win the draw. It's toward the point by Columbus, and Gallagher could not keep it in. Near wing, Gallagher in the neutral zone. Off to Ruiz, who will tip in far side, Columbus end. White chases in there, down low. It is taken by the River Dragons and out to center. During the regular season, Columbus, the best penalty kill in the FPHL, 84.7%. During the regular season, the Hat-Tricks still with 2:50 left on the double minor to Storjahan on the high stick. Gallagher from left to right, out behind his own net, will backhand to center. Tom Mealy at the red line. Cross ice feed into the zone. Steve Mealy cutting down low toward the front of the net. The shot taken away. Wraparound try. McBurney slides to his right to hold off the post. Into the corner. Steve Mealy looking to play back to the point. Referee fell down and got in the way, but the Hat-Tricks still control the puck. Tom Mealy, far side, back to the point. Lazaro, left wing to the circle. Steve Mealy back up high. Across right side for Tom, across into the slot, and it's intercepted by Columbus and turned all the way down. 5:46 to go in the first, no score. Hat-Tricks with 2:05 left on a power play. 1 for 15 in the opening round against the Black Bears. Hat-Tricks trying to get off to a better start on the man advantage tonight. Tom Mealy crashes into the near corner, offensive end, turned up the wall. Lazaro keeps in right side, slides it down to the hash marks. Anderson works up high, the snap, gloved by McBurney. 1:48 left on the power play for Danbury. 5:24 in a scoreless first. Hat-Tricks power play getting some shots on, but just one chance so far that was really down low and in front of the net. The rest have been from the perimeter. .524 to go in the first. Top unit back out for Danbury. 1:45 left on the power play. McDonald, as the Hat-Tricks win the draw, fires wide. Ruiz has it far corner. Gallagher serves it toward the slot. Intercepted. Petrantonio will clear all the way down. Wilson will leave it behind the net for Gallagher to turn around and work back behind his own net. Ruiz breezing his way up the right wing, through into Levesque, across Bonnell, down low, looking to play across. It was swatted away. Gallagher settles at the point. The wrist shot through traffic, save McBurney, rebound in front, taking away, and the Hat-Tricks find it side of the cage. The shot, they score! Johnny Ruiz puts home the rebound. The Hat-Tricks strike first in game one. 4:51 to go in the period, and a power play goal for the captain. Ruiz able to find the rebound through Doe's skates and shot it by McBurney, who was around looking for the chance. Danbury with the first of the semifinals. Johnny Ruiz, his fourth of the playoffs, and the Hat-Tricks on the board first at home in game one. A power play that went 1 for 15 in the opening round strikes on its first chance of the semifinals and gives the Hat-Tricks the lead to start this series off. 1-0 Danbury, 4:51 left in the opening period. Ruiz, 13 power play goals during the regular season. He was the second most in the league, behind Tyler Jurich of the Binghamton Black Bears. He's on the board tonight, his fourth of the playoffs, and the Hat-Tricks strike on the power play and lead game one 1-0 with 4:51 to go in the first. Hat-Tricks will send Corey Anderson, Tobias Ojic, and Phil Bronner out to respond after the goal. For the Hat-Tricks, up 1-0 late in the first. Columbus wins the draw. Atwell, far side, will tip ahead to Ojic toward the Columbus zone. White will take over. Back into the River Dragons end. Across the Hat-Tricks line. Underwood, far wing, turned toward the front of the net. It banks out to the wall. Storjahan to the point. Ozelin shot, bounces wide. Up the far wall. White will pinch in. Turns toward the front of the net. Kipped away by the Hat-Tricks. Banked to center. And out into the River Dragons end. Ojic racing onto it, down low, the wrist shot, and it's a glove save from McBurney. Ojic turned on the Jets down the wing, and he had eyes for the inside the far post, but it was McBurney who made the stop. 4:17 to go in the first, and a 1-0 Hat-Tricks lead. We will be right back from Danbury. 1-0 Hat-Tricks late in the first. The Hat-Tricks leading 1-0 late in the opening period. 4:17 to go in the first of game one of the FPHL semifinals. Danbury wins the draw to start things back up and plays deep into the Columbus end. Up the near wing, Atwell will take off the wall. The backhand stopped by Carter. He'll bank it toward the Hat-Tricks end. Doe chasing in is sealed off by Atwell into the corner. He serves it behind the net for Brown to take up. 4 to go in the first. Hat-Tricks up 1-0. Kuznetsov outlets to Mealy across the line. Tom Mealy, left side, will shoot off a body. Has the rebound behind the net. Crashing in near corner, Kuznetsov flips it toward the front of the net. It's off a body behind the cage, and Vanelli takes over far corner. Flutters to center, glove down by Doe across in the neutral zone. It hits a hat trick, and Brown will flip it back to center. Steve Mealy in the neutral zone, bats it toward the Columbus end. He can't get it in. It's clipped in on goal, and Wilson will tip it off to the near boards. Kuznetsov along the wall will sky it out to center. It's gloved down by Grade in the neutral zone and ripped right back in on Wilson. He will hold on, and take the whistle with 3:20 left in the first. Hat-tricks ahead 1-0. And after being outshot 7-5 to start the game, the Hat-tricks now outshooting Columbus 14-9. Top line out for Danbury. Ruiz, Levesque, and Bunnell, and a face-off in the Danbury end near circle, won by Columbus. Turn to the side of the net, blocker down by Wilson in the corner. Ruiz will chip it. It hits the linesman on the near wing, and it's kept in by Columbus. Graham steps toward the slot and will shoot. It's tipped up and gloved by Wilson. He'll hold on with 3:05 left in the first. 1-0 Hat-tricks on top late in the first, game one of the FPHL semifinals. Danbury wins the draw, far circle in its own end, and Oliver will turn it up the far side, stopped by Bersani. Grant chips it back down low behind the Hat-tricks net. Oliver pins Bersani against the wall, who works it free. It's turned forward by Moskal across the goal mouth. Levesque will spring to center. Bunnell in center, drops back for Levesque. Bunnell on the backhand will dump back in to the Columbus end. Nolan chases behind his own net, up the far wall, banks to center. Anderson intercepts and turns in to the offensive zone for Danbury. Near wing, grade up the wall for Columbus. It's stopped by Levesque along the point, turned out to center. Moskal muscles it to the neutral zone, and Columbus dumps into the Hat-tricks end. In front of the Hat-tricks bench, Nick Levesque getting into it with MJ Graham behind the play. Hat-tricks into the offensive zone. A shot from Anderson, and Levesque will go with Graham. 2:15 left in the first, and neither can get an arm free. It is Levesque who throws a right. Graham's helmet comes off. Both are tangled up. A left from Levesque, undercut, and he will get his arms free. Levesque trying to throw right, and Graham shielding. Levesque pumping up the crowd, will throw a right again. Graham tussling down to the ice, and Levesque points to the crest on the front of his sweater to pump up the Hat-tricks faithful in the building tonight. 2:15 left in the opening period. 1-0 Hat-tricks. Levesque goes off, as well as Graham, 5 minutes each. And we will start back up. Crowd getting into it late in the first with the goal and the fight. Hat-tricks leading 1-0 with 2:15 left in period number one. Face-off will be in the neutral zone in front of the Columbus bench. Anderson will take it for Danbury against Underwood. Hat-tricks win it. Ojic dumps into the offensive zone. Played with a high stick. Ojic finds it back at center and rips it around the boards. Into the offensive end. McBurney up the near wing. It is Bronner. Down low. Anderson looking out in front. Hard angle shot hits the side of the net. And the whistle blows with 1:59 to go as the net comes off. 1-0 Hat-tricks late in the opening period from Danbury. 1:59 to go in the first. Far circle, offensive end to the right. Steve Mealy will take the draw against Kirk Underwood. It's won back by the Hat-tricks along the far wall. Mealy turning back to the point. Tom bounces to Atwell. Right side will wide blast. He fanned on the shot, and it's Storjahan out to center. Right side into the Hat-tricks end. Smith all the way around the boards. Behind into the near corner. Atwell will scoop up the wall. Steve Mealy pounds to center. Underwood will take over in the neutral zone. 1:35 to go in the first. Storjahan across the Hat-tricks line, far wing. It is Smith. The shot, hard angle, saved with the right shoulder by Wilson. Turned out to center by Danbury, but Columbus will take over. Storjahan back to Carter and tipped into the Hat-tricks end by Smith. 1:15 to go in the first. 1-0 Hat-tricks. Steve Brown playing the body behind the Danbury net will work ahead to Ruiz, who tips ahead, and Kuznetsov will carry out to center. Tom Mealy left side into the Hat-tricks end. Atwell will dump and go off for a change. Right to left, Carter out to center, Vanelli into the hat-trick zone. A minute left in the first. Hat-trick's up 1-0. Gallagher tips it away from Vanelli, who has it back along the far wall. Stick lifted by Ruiz, who turns away with the puck into the corner. Dumping behind his own net, Ruiz to McDonald, chips up the near wall. Bronner settles and skies it out to center. A bouncing puck, Benell into the offensive zone, but couldn't control the puck, and Columbus works out to center. Turned out and offside at the Columbus line. 36 seconds left in the first. Face-off will be at center ice. Steve Mealy will take against Bersani. 36 to go in the first period. 1-0 hat-tricks. Game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. Face-off in the neutral zone, won by Columbus, turned all the way around the boards. Into the near wing, hat-tricks in. Gallagher pinned against the wall, works the puck out to center, and it goes into the Columbus end. Grade will retreat for it and has it behind his own net. 20 seconds left in the opening period. 1-0, hat-tricks on top. Columbus through center, chips in on goal. Wilson will glove it and hold on with 12 seconds left in the first. Brian Wilson steps in for Pete DeSalvo tonight. 14 saves so far in the first period with 12 seconds remaining. Hat-tricks fired 16 shots on Bailey McBurney down the other end. It's 1-0 Danbury with 12 seconds left in the first. Far circle, hat-tricks in. Anderson will win the draw. McDonald turned up the boards. It's chipped to center. Trickles down into the Columbus end. Ozelinch will go back for it, and that will do it for the first period as the hat-tricks lead 1-0 after one. At home in Game 1, it is a crucial game for the hat-tricks to win, heading to Columbus for the next 2 games to wrap up the series after tonight. The hat-tricks leading 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. The goal scored by Johnny Ruiz on the power play, a hat-tricks power play that went 1 for 15 in the opening series, assisted by Gordy Benell and Johnny McDonald. We'll step aside after one period. We'll be back with the intermission report coming up in a few minutes before the second period of Game 1 coming up soon on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. Danbury up 1-0 after 20. Welcome back into Danbury Arena for the intermission report in game one. First intermission, Hat-Tricks lead 1-0 after 20 minutes. Danbury, after struggling all through the first round on the power play, the only goal they scored in 15 tries on the power play in the first round was an overtime goal from Nick Levesque in game two. Well, the Hat-Tricks got their first power play of this series, and they converted on it. It was Johnny Ruiz scoring from Gordy Bennell and Johnny McDonald. And Ruiz scored his fourth of the playoffs. McDonald with his second assist, and Bennell as well, his second point of the playoffs. The Hat-Tricks leading 1-0 after one. In goal, Brian Wilson comes in for Pete DeSalvo in game one of this series and stops all 14 shots he faces in the first period. Bailey McBurney on the other end, 15 saves on 16 Hat-Tricks shots. Around the league in the FPHL, the other semifinal getting underway this evening in Carolina. The Thunderbirds are up 1-0, and the second period has just begun in Winston-Salem. Victor Grebenikov scoring late in the first to give Carolina the lead in that one. That'll do it for the intermission report here from Danbury. After this, we will have the second period of action from Danbury Ice Arena. Hat-Tricks leading 1-0 after one in game one. Set for the second period in Danbury. The Hat Tricks leading 1-0 after one frame in Game 1 of the FPHL semifinal series against the Columbus River Dragons. Opening goal of the series scored by the captain, Johnny Ruiz, on the power play in period number 1. The first power play goal in regulation the Hat Tricks have scored in the playoffs so far. Columbus will move left to right in the second period. The Hat Tricks will move right to left. Up by 1, 16 shots on Bailey McBurney in the first period. Hat Tricks got one by Brian Wilson, perfect, 14 for 14 in the first. Keys coming into this series were special teams. The Hat Tricks got a penalty kill and converted on the power play in the opening period tonight. Johnny Ruiz will step into the circle to take the opening faceoff of the second against Jagger Williamson, and we're underway in period number 2. The Hat Tricks win the draw. McDonald across for Gallagher, and Danbury will work into the offensive zone. Tip from center, in on goal. McBurney slows it down to the point. It's Bronner, the wrist shot wide, rebound in front, and it's sliding across is McBurney to make the save. Ruiz was out in front 15 seconds into the period and couldn't really connect on the rebound. At the side of the cage, McBurney sealed it off, and Danbury will have an offensive zone draw early in the second. Hat Tricks lead 1-0 near circle. Ruiz wins it off to the side. Bonnell unable to hold on, and Petrantonio will take it out to center. Into the Hat Tricks end. Doe on the right wing will shoot. It goes up and over behind the glass and off to the far corner. Swung around to the near wing. It's turned up the wall by Johnny McDonald out to center. Petrantonio settles for Columbus and rims it around the boards. Far corner, Hat Tricks in it. Tips by Doe out in front on the backhand. Twirls around. It's sealed off by the Hat Tricks, and McDonald will backhand to center. 45 seconds into the second period. Hat Tricks leading 1-0. White will tip into the Hat Tricks zone. Behind the Danbury net, Wilson leaves for Gallagher. Tipped up and into the Columbus end. Bronner muscling it down low. Carter seals it off and will take over for Columbus. 1 minute into the second, 1-0. Hat Tricks lead. Chipped out to center by the Dragons, and McDonald upended, able to kick it forward to himself, play it into the neutral zone. Columbus will be right back in. Carter out in front. Gallagher sweeps it away, and out at center, Vanelli will take over. 1:20 into the second. Hat Tricks intercept at the neutral zone, and Steve Mealy works toward the offensive end. Couldn't handle the pass, and it's Columbus out to center. 90 seconds into the second. Columbus back behind its own net, turning up the far wall. Danbury leads 1-0 as Moskal carries into the Hat Tricks end, goes by Brown, around to the right circle, stops at the hash marks, will shoot, and it hits a body in front. Wilson goes down. The Hat Tricks have the puck in the corner and work up. Kuznetsov, 1:50 into the second, up a goal, will work into the Columbus end. Drop pass is tipped out to center by Moskal. The Hat Tricks will have to regroup in the neutral zone. 2 minutes in, tipped back in to the Columbus end. Second period, Hat Tricks up 1-0. Carter up the far wing, all the way down into the the Hat Tricks end. Smith charges in, down low for Columbus. Storjahan behind the Hat Tricks net, sealed away by Brown. Hat Tricks turn to center. Atwell ahead, Ojic up the left wing. 2 goals in game 3 of the first round. Will chip by into the offensive zone, turns it out in front, and Underwood intercepts, turns up the near wall. Smith working left to right, out to center. Grade on the far wing, through the neutral zone. Across into the Hat Tricks end, right side to the circle. The shot tipped high in the air to the far boards by Wilson, settled by Columbus, and Smith will dump it down low. Oliver intercepts in the corner, 2:45 into the second. Hat Tricks up 1, outletting to center. Ojic into the Columbus end, skies it high in the air, bounces in behind the net, and Ojic has it in the corner. Turning around down low to the side of the cage, out in front, the hard angle shot saved by McBurney, stuffed away, and the Hat Tricks unable to score as the net comes off and the whistle blows with the puck on the near wall. 2:56 into the second. Hat Tricks up 1-0. And Danbury with the better start so far in the second period. Columbus had the edge in the first few minutes of the game. The Hat Tricks really came around at the end of the first, got the power play goal, and started the second with some energy. Pepe at the point will shoot. It's tipped in front. McBurney able to cover up. Had traffic in front. Nick Levesque, who fought MJ Graham toward the end of the first, was in front, causing some problems for McBurney, who was able to cover. 3:01 into the second, 1-0 Hat-Tricks lead. Game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. The remainder of this series will be played in Columbus after tonight. At the point, Pepe, the blast, gloved by McBurney. McBurney has had to make 3 or 4 outstanding glove saves tonight, and he's been able to make all of them. 19 saves on 20 hat-trick shots so far, 3:06 into the second. Danbury up 1-0. Ruiz wins the draw far circle. Oliver shot tipped off a body onto the near wing. Petrantonio will skate to center. Speeding through off to the left side. Doe. It goes by him into the hat-trick's end. Around the corner, Ruiz takes chips toward the wall. Williamson intercepts. Behind the hat-trick's net, Oliver takes the pass from Williamson, turns up the wall. Levesque will tip ahead, can't get it out. Petrantonio off to Williamson on the right circle. Down low, circles at the hash marks and turns back up high. On his backhand, cutting back toward the left wing. Will stop at the far hash marks and go down low behind the net. Circling back around near wing, trying to turn, gets it to White at the point. The blast is blocked by Wilson. The hat-tricks come out to center. Ruiz speeding across the Columbus line, out in front for Bennell. It hopped over his stick. He goes behind the cage, turn out in front, and it goes all the way back out to center. 2-on-2 rush for Columbus in the neutral zone. Gallagher steps into Moskal 4 minutes into the second and stops him in the neutral zone. It's turned back to the Danbury end. 1-0 hat-tricks early in period number 2. Gallagher tips into the offensive zone to the left. Kuznetsov couldn't handle it. It's turned up the wall by McBurney. Swatted to center by Columbus in the neutral zone. Steve Mealy will take over for the hat-tricks. Ahead for Kuznetsov across the Columbus line all the way around the boards, far wing. Hops along the wall and comes out to center. Gallagher struggles with it but able to turn and fire it into the offensive end for Columbus to take over. 4.5 into the second. Hat-tricks up 1-0. Tom Mealy forces a turnover in the neutral zone. The hat-tricks move back in. Lazaro dumps it in. It hits a body, bounces to Mealy, right point. Down low, Kuznetsov at the hash marks. Working his way back up high. Turns around at the circle. Fires it on, and it goes over the net. Out to the point. Atwell will one-time it from the point. It is blocked by Carter and out to center. Brown swats it back toward Columbus ice. The hat-tricks take over back in the neutral zone. Atwell ahead, Anderson toward the Columbus zone. It's tipped in by Anderson, and Columbus will take over. Vanelli up the far wall, 5:10 into the second, 1-0 hat-tricks. Atwell intercepts in the neutral zone. 2 hat-tricks collide and lose the puck. Carter into the hat-tricks end, 3-on-2 for Columbus. Bersani has it hop over his stick at the high slot. Ojic finds the puck at the circles in his own end and will work out right to left. On the far wing, skating by and trying to sneak his way into the zone. Lost control but does get it in to the Columbus end. River Dragons play it back out to center. The hat-tricks take over in the neutral zone. 5.5 into the second period. Hat-tricks up 1-0. Ojic turns it over in the neutral zone. Storjahan across the hat-tricks line. Far circle out in front. It's stopped by Wilson. He holds on with 14-17 left in the second. The hat-tricks up 1-0. We'll be right back. .543 into the second. Hat-tricks leading 1-0 in game 1 of the semifinals against the Columbus River Dragons. Josh Starr bringing you the action on the Hat-tricks YouTube channel, and will continue to bring the action on the Hat-tricks YouTube channel throughout this series in Columbus for game 2 on Sunday, and if necessary, game 3 on Tuesday night from Georgia. 5:43 into the second. Hat-tricks leading 1-0. Far circle, Danbury end to the right. The face-off is won by the hat-tricks, turned up the wall, kept in by Columbus. Shot blocked in front by Pepe. Turned off to the near wing. Pepe will drop it back into the far corner in the hat-tricks end. Oliver chases there, can't catch up to it. Storjahan behind the Danbury net. turns it back up the wall. Oliver intercepts there, chips it out to center, and it is gloved down by Nolan. Back into the hat-trick's end. Underwood shovels far side to near. It's Storjahan down low. Nolan the shot, saved by Wilson. Rebound. Underwood couldn't find it. The hat-trick's clear to center. Levesque up the far side, stopped in the neutral zone. He is clipped up high again. He doesn't get a call this time, and it goes around behind the hat-trick's net. Into the near corner, Bennell chases, has Williamson right on his back, and it is turned ahead by the hat-tricks and out to center with Ruiz. Right to left, chips into the offensive zone. It goes wide of McBurney, taken by Ozolinch. Up the near wing, Petrantonio pins it against the wall, crashed into by Tom Mealy. Steve converges in and trying to win the puck for the hat-tricks. It's 3 for the River Dragons, turning it up the wall and out to center. Williamson in center to Petrantonio. He turns it over, and Steve Mealy dumps it right back in to the offensive zone. In the corner, Tom Mealy upended, and he is unable to control the puck. It's numbers for Columbus. 4-on-3 through center into the hat-trick's end. Petrantonio at the circle. The shot blocked by McDonald. It goes wide of the cage and bounces up out of play in the corner. A big block from Johnny McDonald with Columbus streaking into the hat-trick zone, and a 4-on-2. But the hat-trick's rookie defenseman able to make the save or make the block and get the face-off for Danbury. 7:08 into the second 1-0 hat-tricks. Game 1, the FPHL semifinals. Near ring, hat-trick zone. To our right, Corey Anderson will take the draw for Danbury. Hunter Bersani for Columbus. It's won by the hat-tricks, turned up by McDonald and out to center. Taken there by Vanelli and taken back into the hat-trick's end. Bersani will take over at the far circle. Turning down low, backhands into the corner. It hits the referee, and the hat-tricks pin the puck against the wall. Anderson there trying to dig it out with his skates. It's dropped behind the net, hits a stanchion, and will be covered up by Wilson out in front with 12:27 to go in the second. 1-0 hat-tricks on top. Far circle, Danbury zone. To our right, Wilson will look on. From the hat-tricks cage, he's made 21 saves on 21 shots so far tonight. Both goalies have been tested early in this one, almost halfway through regulation. Each team with at least 20 shots. Far circle, hat-tricks end. Columbus wins the draw, serves another one in, and Wilson smothers it right in the chest. 12:22 to go in the second. 1-0 hat-tricks, another save for Wilson. That's 22 so far. Bersani will take it against Ruiz. And the hat-tricks win it. Steve Brown will chip up the wall and out all the way down, and icing is called against the hat-tricks. 12:15 to go in the second. 1-0 Danbury leads. Another face-off coming up in the hat-trick zone. Bersani will take the draw for Columbus. Ruiz for the hat-tricks near circle to our right. Ruiz chops it back behind the net, and Bersani crashes into the wall. Brown pins another River Dragon into the boards. The puck comes up the wall. Ruiz scoops it out and takes it to center. 2-on-1 for the hat-tricks if they hurry. Ruiz across the line. Wide strides. It's blocker down by McBurney. Onto the near wall in the corner. It's turned behind the net. The River Dragons will take over. Under 12 to play in the second. 1-0 hat-tricks. And the puck trickles behind the Columbus net. Vanelli out in front. Mealy the blast. He scores! The hat-tricks convert on the turnover. Vanelli played it out in front. Right to Steve Mealy, who blasts it by the right arm of McBurney. 2-0 hat-tricks. 11:46 to go in the second, and the hat-tricks are on top by 2. It's Steve Mealy's 5th of the playoffs, and the hat-tricks lead 2-0. 11:46 left in the second. Face-off at center, won by Steve Mealy and taken up through the neutral zone. Columbus will take over into the hat-trick's end, rimming around far side, goes by Pepe out in front. Underwood down low, backhand, stopped by Wilson, left leg behind the Danbury net. It is played off to the far wing, dropped behind, and Columbus will take over on the near wing. Great, chips it down low into the corner, turned up the wall. Tom Mealy trying to get out, cannot. Storjahan out in front at the slot. His shot hits a body and drifts wide. Out to Underwood at the point. His shot blocked by Pepe. It goes up and out of play behind. And the Hat-Tricks will have a face-off in their own zone. 11:14 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks lead 2-0. Steve Mealy has his 5th of the playoffs. Nick Levesque gets an assist as he forced the turnover from Vanelli behind the Columbus net. Columbus wins the draw from the point. White rifles it high and wide of the net. Hat-Tricks shot to center. Ojic into the offensive zone, dances by. He's upended, and no call at the Columbus line. River Dragons back the other way, left to right. Williamson high slot. The wrist shot, it's blocker down by Wilson. Chopped out to center. Ojic will race at it into the offensive zone. 10:50 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks up 2. Ojic circles behind the Columbus net. Plays back to the point. McDonald working his way down low. Slides all the way across. Had Anderson and hopped over his stick. Back to the point. Gallagher rips through traffic. Stopped by McBurney. Rebound in front, and it's kicked out by McBurney. Bronner on the backhand didn't get all of it, and McBurney able to slide across to stop it. Columbus plays down the ice, and an icing is called, and some pushing and shoving after the play in the Columbus zone. 10:30 to go in the second. 2-0 Hat-Tricks on top. One in the first from Johnny Ruiz on the power play, and one just minutes ago in the second. At 8:14, the Hat-Tricks took the 2-goal lead with Steve Mealy's 5th of the playoffs, capitalizing on a Columbus turnover. 10.5 to go in period number 2. Hat-Tricks up a pair. Far circle offensive end. Ruiz will win the draw back to the point. Brown fires wide of the net. It's taken behind. Ruiz can't find it. Williamson into the corner. Levesque strips him. On the far wall, down low for Bonnell. Cycling in the corner, working his way back up high. Will chip it down low. Levesque in the corner again. Pinned against the wall by White. Turned around in the corner. Puck hops free. White will outlet up the near wing and has Petrantonio through center. Across the Hat-Tricks line, right wing, dancing into the corner. All the way around behind the net, crushed into the wall by Brown. Atwell will find the puck, turns up the wall. Levesque can't handle it at first. He turns it up, and Ruiz blocks it out to center. Taking it into the neutral zone, battling a bouncing puck. Columbus finds it. Moskal across the Hat-Tricks line. Dancing toward the slot, backhand toward the front. It's off a body, trickles in on Wilson, and he covers up. The Hat-Tricks with Steve Mealy's 5th goal of the playoffs are on top 2-0 with 9:44 left in the second. Just past the halfway point in regulation, game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. Hat-Tricks leading 2-0. Josh Starr with you from Danbury Ice Arena. The Hat-Tricks hosting game 1 of this series before the teams return to Columbus, Georgia for games 2 and 3 if necessary. And the Hat-Tricks needing to take care of business at home are off to a strong start. 9:44 left in the second, up 2-0. Brian Wilson, 24 saves on 24 shots in the Hat-Tricks net tonight. Near circle, Danbury zone. The faceoff won by Steve Mealy, and it's turned up the wall by Oliver all the way down the ice. And icing called against the Hat-Tricks. 9:37 left in the second. 2-0 Hat-Tricks. Face off back into the Danbury zone. Near circle, Bersani will take against Steve Mealy. Wilson looks on to his left. The Hat-Tricks win another draw. Oliver behind the net this time has Kuznetsov far wing, but it takes a hop off the boards, and he can't control it. Turn to the front of the net, swept away by Oliver, and Tom Mealy will outlet. Kuznetsov up the far wing into the Columbus end, right circle, snaps it on goal. It's blockered high in the air, glove down by Steve Mealy at the point, upended, and Columbus will work the puck out to center. Out in front, and Steve Mealy walks in on goal, but a whistle blows. A penalty coming up against the Hat-Tricks. The Hat-Tricks had a player upended, then a Columbus had a player upended. Only one gets called. It will be a hold. On Steve Mealy, and the Hat-Tricks head to the kill with 9:14 left in the second. Danbury leads 2-0, and its second penalty kill of the night. Cybers penalty kill for the Hat-Tricks. Near wing at the circle, Danbury zone. Ruiz will take the draw, one, and Gallagher turns up the wall, can't get it out. Petrantonio to the right point, White slides across right circle, Doe, and Columbus is set up with 9 minutes left in the second. Hat-Tricks lead by 2. The blast from White at the point, blocked in front. Hat-Tricks looking to clear, cannot. Doe keeps in at the point. The wrist shot blocked by Brown. He crumbles down. Out in front, and it goes by Krupp into the near corner. Brown still on the ice. Doe out in front. The blast right side, and it's missed by Williamson. Back in front, they score. Krupp finds Twine behind Brian Wilson under his right arm. Hectic moments on the penalty kill, and Columbus finds the net on the power play. 8:46 to go in the second, and the Hat-Tricks lead is down to 1. Wilson made the first 25 saves of the game. The 26th beat him, and the Hat-Tricks lead 2-1 with 8:44 left in the second. A power play goal for the River Dragons. Columbus wins the draw, dumps into the Hat-Trick zone, turned up the near wing, and it's Ojic who turns it over in the Hat-Trick's end. Underwood will shoot. It's blocked by Ojic. Turned away to the side of the net. Back to the point, Storjahan to Vanelli. Slides across, far side, Carter shot, blocked by Bronner into the wall. Bronner blocks another. Vanelli has it back. Carter plays it into the near corner. Back to the point, Vanelli will shoot, and blocked by Ojic. Turning it ahead, the Hat-Tricks can't get out of their zone. It's Underwood, left side, down low, blocked by Oliver. Takes it back at the hash marks, down again into the corner. Played across from Storjahan. Hat-Tricks find it and chip it ahead. Ojic working to center, and it is tipped up and out of play into the bench with 8:01 left in the second. 2-1 Hat-Tricks on top. 8:01 left in the middle period. Game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. Bersani will step in for Columbus. Steve Mealy for the Hat-Tricks in the center ice circle. Hat-Tricks win the draw, and Gallagher will turn up the far wing into the Columbus end. Taken behind the net, Grade up the near wall. Tom Mealy cannot hold on. Chipped out to center by Columbus. McDonald takes over on the right wing. Kuznetsov deep into the offensive end. Around the boards, Tom Mealy near wing. Drops it behind the net for Steve. It goes by him into Kuznetsov's stick. Back down low for Steve. Rimmed up the wall. McDonald keeps in. The shot tipped wide by Mealy and turns out to the far side. 7:30 left in the second period. Graham into the Hat-Trick zone, side of the net, turned out in front. He's trucked into the net. Another penalty coming up against the Hat-Tricks. Graham went hard to the front of the net. Gallagher sealed him off. It took the net off. And Gallagher will go off for a rough. .7:23 left in the second period. Hat-Tricks up 2-1. Columbus going right back to the power play where it just converted moments ago with a power play goal from Jay Krupp. 2-1 Hat-Trick, 7:23 left in the second. Columbus on the power play, and the Hat-Tricks win the draw near circle in the Hat-Tricks end. Turn up the wall, Ruiz looks to get by. White keeps it in at the point and skies it down into the corner. Krupp settles, drops it back for Doe. Working on the near wing. Doe out up high, blast from White, tipped wide of the net. Wilson didn't know where it was, but it went into the corner. Williamson on the left side across near wing. Doe back to the point, blast by White, stopped in front. Wilson able to cover. .136 left on the kill for the Hat-Tricks, 6:59 to go in the second period of game one. Danbury up by 1. Brian Wilson with 26 saves so far tonight. And Columbus wins the draw at the right circle. Hat-Tricks end. It's taken by White at the point. Down low, Doe all the way across far wing, Petrantonio. To the corner, Williamson back up high. Petrantonio surveys, plays to White at the point. The blast hits a body in front, rebound, sucked wide by Petrantonio, turned up the near wing. Doe keeps in, 1:15 on the power play, all the way across. One-timer, Petrantonio healed it into the corner. Williamson back across right circle, Doe tipped in front, and side of the net, Krupp plays it back to the point. Doe across White, the blast, saved by Wilson through traffic. Into the corner, Williamson takes it back. At the hash mark, serves up high, Petrantonio across White at the point, sliding across the blue line, playing catch, White has it back, center point, back to the far circle, Petrantonio turns down low for Williamson, 45 to go on the power play, Hat-Tricks up 1, turn in front, stopped by Wilson, rebound out, the Hat-Tricks find and cannot clear, White keeps it at the point, right side, Petrantonio at the hash marks, drops back for Williamson, up high, right point, under 6 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks up 1:30 on the power play. Williamson dancing in all the way around behind the net. Sealed off at the side of the cage by Bronner. Far circle, Petrantonio. Back to the point, White. Petrantonio left circle, White center point all the way down low. Tipped wide by Doe. It tips up and off the high glass, not out. On the far corner, Williamson back to the point. 15 to go on the power play. The blast hits a body in front. Bronner finds and clears. 8 seconds left on the power play. Columbus right back into the Hat-Tricks end with numbers. Bersani out in front, and the shot, they score! Moskal in front, ties the game. The Hat-Tricks got caught changing at the end of the long shift. The Hat-Tricks couldn't get off the ice, and Moskal found himself in behind, deked by Wilson, and the Hat-Tricks lead has dissipated. It was 2-0. It is 2-2. Columbus has tied the game. There was 1 second left on the penalty kill. It will be a power play goal for Moskal. And he had 4 in 11 games during the regular season, has his first of the playoffs. 5:23 left in the second, tied at 2. Steve Mealy, center ice against Underwood. It's won by the Hat-Tricks. Trickles in toward Wilson. He leaves it to the side. Pepe takes out from behind his own net, up the near wing. Tom Mealy on the left side. Cross ice feed, stopped by Columbus, deep into the Hat-Tricks end, and Atwell will cycle back for it. Banks out to center, has Tom Mealy, who tips into the offensive zone. 5:03 left in the second, tied at 2. Benelli up the near wall, stopped at the point by Atwell, who will shuffle down low for Mealy in the corner. It goes by him to the far side. Kuznetsov drops back down behind and up the near wall, and Steve Mealy couldn't get there. It's out to center. Smith dumps into the Hat-Tricks end. 4:45 to go in the period. The shot in front, they score! It's turned over behind the net by Wilson, and Columbus. 3 goals in the second period after trailing 2-0. Have struck, and it's a 3-2 Columbus lead. Wilson waited for the puck behind the net, and it never got to him. Columbus turned it out in front, and it was Grade in front who put it home. Wow, the Hat-Tricks giving up 3 quick goals in the second, and Columbus has silenced this crowd in Danbury. Center ice draw won by the Hat-Tricks. Lazaro up the near wing. Bennell drops into the offensive zone. 4.5 left in the second. Tipped up the far side, and it goes out deflected, and we will step aside. The Hat-Tricks will try to regroup during the timeout. 4.5 to go in period number 2. Columbus on top, 3-2. Four and a half minutes left in the second period. The Hat-Tricks trailing 3-2 after leading 2-0. 11-14 into the second. It's been 3 straight goals for Columbus, 2 on the power play. And Danbury finds itself trailing for the first time tonight. Far circle, offensive end to the left. Ruiz wins the draw. 4.5 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks down 1. Near wall, Ruiz down low. Bonnell turning by in the corner. Will work up high, and it is to the hash marks. He'll cycle back down low. Side of the cage, it bounces away. Ruiz takes over from the side of the net. Out of high, Lazaro's shot blocked, and Columbus the other way. Moskal into the Hat-Tricks end. He is sealed off by Gallagher. Dances down low. Lazaro comes in to intercept. Moskal on the far wing, down low behind the net, out in front, tip, they score, Bersani! It's 4-2 Columbus. 4 second period goals for the River Dragons, and they lead by 2. 3:57 left in the second. The Hat-Tricks got back to stop the rush, but then the rebound try was tipped in by Bersani. 16 in the regular season for Bersani. Scores tonight. 4-2 Columbus leads. 3:50 to go in the second. Hat-Tricks on their heels. They win the draw right to left through center. Chipped ahead by Brown. Taken down by Columbus. In the neutral zone, Williamson turning it away across the Hat-Tricks line. Toward the right circle, slips his way down low, out in front. The blast, Vanelli wide of the cage. Turns out in front. Wilson able to stop it. They score! 5-2 Columbus. Petrantonio knocks it by Wilson. Five goals in the second period for Columbus. It's 5-2 River Dragons. 5 unanswered goals, and the Hat-Tricks are going to change goaltenders. Brian Wilson made the first 25 saves of the night. He's allowed 5 goals on the last 10 shots since. .330 left in the second. It's 5-2 Columbus. Hat-Tricks win the draw at center. Gallagher up the right side, down into the offensive end. McBurney drops it behind the cage. Vanelli will work ahead and tip out to center. Hat-Tricks with 3:15 left in the second would be crucial to get one back before this period ends. Tom Mealy into the offensive zone, right side, drops back in the corner, swats it around the near wing. Steve Mealy takes it off the wall and back to the point. McDonald shot in front, hits a body off to the near wing. Behind the net, Tom Mealy can't settle. Under 3 to play in the second. It's played out to center by Columbus. McDonald crashes in, lays a big hit in the neutral zone, and will take the puck forward into the offensive end. All the way across, Tom Mealy at the circle, drops back. Kuznetsov to the slot, the rip, and it is stopped by McBurney. A huge save by Columbus's netminder. Pinned it under his right arm and stones Kuznetsov. All alone in the slot. It remains 5-2 Columbus. 2:42 left in the second.
James
Near circle, offensive end to the left. Hat-tricks will have a face-off. 2:42 left in the second, down 3. Back to the point, Bunnell, shot on goal, stopped by McBurney, turned off to the far wing and out to center. Graham sneaking into the Hat-tricks end. Danbury takes the puck over, Oliver ahead. Bunnell across the Columbus line, left circle, dances to the slot. His shot stopped by McBurney. .226 left in the second, 5-2 Columbus. Hat-tricks have had a good response since the 5th goal went in. A couple of shots on goal, and they are sticking with the top line. Ruiz, Bunnell, and Levesque. An extended shift here for Danbury. Some confusion with the Columbus change. Graham will step in to take the face-off against Ruiz on the near circle. He is now tossed from the circle. Grade will step in. And he will now step out for Doe to take over. It's won by the Hat-tricks, turned on by Bunnell, but blocked. Out to center, it tips up and out of play. 2:20 left in the second. 5-2 Columbus leads on 5 second period goals. Far circle offensive zone for Danbury. To our left, Ruiz staying out to take it. He cannot win this one. It's Grade up the wall, near wing. Petrantonio tips it up to center, and Doe will tip into the Hat-tricks end. Pepe will go back and chase in behind the Hat-tricks net. It's flipped up the wall and clipped out to center. Ruiz right to left into the Columbus end, battling a bouncing puck. He's ripped down. It will be a penalty on Columbus. McClendon will go to the bench for the extra skater. Columbus will touch up, and the Hat-tricks will head to a power play with 1:56 left in the second. Petrantonio will go off. Ruiz making it happen, and the Hat-tricks are 1 for 1 tonight on the man advantage. A hold called against Petrantonio. The Hat-tricks a chance to cut the lead to 2 late in the second. Danbury led this game 2-0. It is 5-2 Columbus, all 5 in the second period. Hat-tricks win the draw to start the power play. McDonald right point, the shot tips wide, Bunnell side of the net, and the net comes off as Bunnell is crunched into the wall. They will blow it dead. As the net came off, 1:50 to go in the second period, 5-2, Columbus on top. Far circle, Hat-tricks win the draw, Columbus end to the left, Gallagher left point will rip, it's blocked by Williamson, off to the near wall, down low for Ruiz, cuts back, bottom of the near ring, up high, Bunnell will fake the shot, back to Ruiz, the blast, hard angle blocker down by McBurney, into the corner, Levesque can't handle it, and it's played out to center. Gallagher unable to keep it in, tips it forward for Ruiz, across far side, McDonald into the zone. Looking all the way across, has Steve Mealy at the left point. Up high, works his way down low, slides to Levesque. In the corner, bottom of the zone, and it goes behind the net for Ruiz. Clipped into the wall, back to the point, 1:15 on the power play. 1:10 in the period, back across far circle. Gallagher, the blast from the point goes wide of the cage, and Levesque will take over. It's to Ruiz, who turns back for Levesque, blocked away and cleared all the way down. Last minute of the second, 1 to go on the Hat-tricks power play. Behind McClendon, who entered in relief of Brian Wilson, has not faced the shot yet. Up the right side, Tom Mealy through center. Kuznetsov into the zone, off to the right wing. Anderson, the wrist shot snapped down by McBurney. The Hat-tricks with a chance on the rush on the power play, unable to get it by McBurney, who has made 25 saves. 39 seconds left in the period, 44 on the Hat-tricks power play, down 3. Steve Mealy wins the draw, far circle, back to Tom, right point. looking to work his way down the wall, stopped by Sturgeon and turned off to the left wing. Kuznetsov, the wrist shot, blocked in front, rebound, and it is played away. Back to the right point. Mealy down low for his brother. Tom takes it up high. All the way across. It's blocked down by Underwood. He races toward the hat-trick's end. Short-handed breakaway in on goal, and Pepe back to stop it, and McClendon will slide across to make the stop. 9 seconds in the period. Steve Mealy back through into the offensive zone, dangling to the slot, drops back for Anderson, all the way across. Pepe turns on goal, wide of the net, turned out in front, and it's stopped by McBurney as the horn sounds. Steve Mealy on the last second chance. 4 seconds left on the power play for the Hat-Tricks, but 5 second period goals for Columbus, and the River Dragons take a 3-goal lead into the third period tonight in game 1. The Hat-Tricks led 2-0, and with 8:46 left in the period, Columbus scored its first, and in a 5-minute stretch, the River Dragons scored 5 goals. We will step aside and be back for the intermission report. A tough second for Danbury. We'll be down 3 heading in to the final period tonight. We'll be back for the intermission report coming up next. Welcome back to Danbury Arena, the second intermission report from Game 1 of this FPHL semifinal series. Josh Starr with you. It was a big second for Columbus. The Hat-Tricks took the early lead, one in the first, one at 8:14 of the second to lead 2-0. But then it was 5 Columbus goals in 5 minutes and 16 seconds. First, Jay Krupp on the power play, then 4 straight even strength goals in a span of just over 2 minutes. Parker Moskal, Joseph Smith, Hunter Bersani, and Josh Petrantonio all scoring past Brian Wilson, who was pulled after that 5th goal. He made the first 25 saves on shots he faced, and then 5 of the next 10 went in on Brian Wilson. The Hat-Tricks down 5-2 after 2 at home in Game 1, and it will be desperation mode for Danbury in the third period. They have to try and find a way to win this game at home, with the next 2 games going on the road to Columbus. Steve Mealy got the goal in the second for the Hat-Tricks. It was on a turnover in front of the Columbus net. He blasted it by Bailey McBurney. It was his 5th of the postseason. The Hat-Tricks down 3 into the final period, and they will have their work cut out for them in the third. In the other series of the FPHL semifinals, the last we saw, it was 1-0 Carolina early in the second. Well, now it's early in the third, and it's 4-1 Watertown. 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third. 4 different goal scorers for Watertown: Alex Jemayeff, Jimmy Lodge, Justin McDonald, and Colin Chamelka, all scoring for Watertown in that one. About 7 minutes into the third, Watertown holding a 3-goal lead. After 40 here in Danbury, Columbus holding a 3-goal lead. The Hat-Tricks will look to score early and often in the third period. We'll have it for you next here on the Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. Well, the Hat-Tricks are down by 3 into the final period and have some work to do to try and get a win in Game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. Josh Starr with you here in Danbury Ice Arena. Frankie McClendon takes the net to our left for the Hat-Tricks, coming on in relief of Brian Wilson. Columbus in the second period, scoring 5 goals in 5 minutes and 16 seconds to erase a 2-0 Hat-Tricks lead. And we stand at 5-2 into the third period. Hat-Tricks will go left to right in the third. Columbus right to left. Ruiz and the top line with Levesque and Bennell out to start the period for the Hat-Tricks. And we are ready for the third. The Hat-Tricks have to try and score early in this one to get the momentum back, which was all in Columbus's favor to end the second. Danbury wins the draw, chips in to the Columbus end to the right. Turned down low in the corner. It's whipped up the wall. The Hat-Tricks pinch to keep it in. McDonald off to the near wing. Down low to the circle. It is Ruiz who overskated and couldn't hold the puck in the zone. Williamson out to center into the Hat-Tricks end, left side, and they go offside at the Hat-Tricks line. 22 seconds into the third. The Hat-Tricks down 3, and the key is to get the first one. Once you get the first one, you get some momentum and try and work forward. Zach Lazaro taking this face-off. He's been playing as a defenseman most of the playoffs. Takes the draw up front on this shift. Around behind the Hat-Tricks net. It's turned away into the corner. McDonald stuffing up the boards. It bounces across near side for Steve Mealy. Out to Lazaro, who works into the neutral zone and by into the Columbus end. Tipped into the near corner. Doe drops it behind his own net. 45 seconds into the period, and Columbus will work up. Dragons up 3 in the third period early on. 50 seconds into the Hat-Tricks end. They take over. Steve Brown up the wall. Far wing. Tom Mealy tips into the offensive zone to the right. Around behind the cage. Carter will take over a minute into the third. And out to center. Brown will take over for the Hat-Tricks. Chipped in on goal. Bounces in on McBurney. He'll cover up. 1:07 into the third. 5-2. Columbus on top. Five-second period goals for the River Dragons. The Hat-Tricks trying to come back in the third at home. Their only home game of this series. And they win the face-off. Ojic turns on goal. It's kicked out by McBurney and played to center by the River Dragons. Deep into the Hat-Tricks end. 1:15 into the third. Atwell will retrieve behind his own net. Up the near wing. Left to right through center ice. All the way down into the Columbus corner. Out in front, and no one was there for the Hat-Tricks. It bounces to center. 90 seconds into the third. Anderson will blast into the offensive end. Vanelli takes over. Hat-Tricks in the middle of a change. Ojic crashes in, but Columbus will outlet all the way to Moskal, who tips into the Hat-Tricks end. No icing. Oliver behind his own net will bank for Pepe to take over. Hat-Tricks 1:50 into the third period, trailing by 3. Bronner will tip high in the air, and it goes out of play behind the Columbus net. Face-off will be back at center ice. 1:56 into the third. Hat-Tricks have to have something to get the energy back into this crowd. It's been deflated ever since Columbus's outburst in the second. 5 goals in 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Played in on goal from center, and Pepe's shot bobbled by McBurney, but he's able to hold on. 5-2 Columbus on top early in the third. Game 1 in Danbury. Game 2 will be at Columbus on Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. Hat-Tricks looking to work some magic once again and come back late in a playoff game. Ruiz, far circle in the offensive zone to our right for the Hat-Tricks. Underwood toss, Krupp will step in. Ruiz wins the draw cleanly back to the point. Pepe walks down left side to the circle. His blast is stopped. Rebound is played on goal. McBurney gloves it. The Columbus netminder won the Goaltender of the Year award of the FPHL in the regular season. He's made 30 saves. As we stand 2:09 into the third, and his team is up by 3. Far circle, offensive end for the Hat-Tricks. It's won by Danbury and played out to center on the wall by Columbus. Back into the Hat-Trick zone. McDonald will tip it ahead. White takes over in the neutral zone. Turned over. Hat-Tricks into the offensive zone. Ruiz cuts to the right circle down low. The blast in front, and McBurney is able to seal it off under his right arm. 2:25 into the third. Hat-Tricks down 3. But a couple of chances early in the period. Have to try and find one soon. Near wing at the circle, it's Steve Mealy to take the draw, and he'll win it down past Williamson behind the corner. Tom Mealy can't find the puck, and Williamson will carry out. Into the Hat-Trick zone, right to left, swinging wide to the far wing. He bobbles the puck along the wall. Gallagher can't find it. It's tipped down low. McDonald has it hop over his stick, turned out in front. One-timer, stop by McClendon. Doe with a great chance out in front, and the Hat-Tricks netminder makes the stop, his first big one of the night, and it's out to the neutral zone. Lazaro crashes in on the near wall, turned over in the neutral zone. Hat-Tricks take over into the offensive end. Mealy upended at the line. It's played to center, and Atwell will take over at his own blue line. Into the neutral zone, Kuznetsov will cycle back in his own end, and the outlet tipped into the offensive end by Ojic. The outlet feed from Vanelli is blocked by Ojic, but Sturgeon will go back into the Hat-Tricks end. On the far wing, it is played out to the neutral zone by the Hat-Tricks, 3.5 in to the third. 5-2 Columbus. McDonald gloves down the tip by Columbus, and his dump in goes up out of play. Hits an empty bleacher seat, and the faceoff will be back at center ice. 5-2, Hat-Tricks trailing, 16:26 left in regulation of game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. Through center, the Hat-Tricks tip into the offensive zone, and no icing as McBurney thought it would be called, and Columbus will tip it out to center. The Hat-Tricks take over. Up the left wing, Ojic hammers into the offensive end, and Kuznetsov chases Vanelli into the corner. Vanelli overskates, but able to poke the puck away, and Carter will work up the near wing. 4 minutes into the third, Hat-Tricks down 3. Ojic takes over in the neutral zone, drops for Kuznetsov, and he walks his way into the offensive end. Banks it in, taken by Columbus, out to center, all the way down, rolling on edge, on goal for McClendon, who knocks it aside, and it is Oliver to take over. 4:20 into the third, Hat-Tricks down 5-2. Top line out on the ice, Ruiz backhands ahead, Pepe into the offensive zone, high slot, rips it on goal. It's blocked down by McBurney. Into the corner, Ruiz crashes in, can't find the puck. Bunnell steps in, tries to win it back for the Hat-Tricks, and it is Columbus out to center. Moskal across the Hat-Tricks line, swinging off to the near wing, across far side at the circle. Graham out in front, it goes all the way through. Moskal's shot at the net, stopped by Levesque and turned behind. 4:50 into the third, Hat-Tricks outlet to center. Pepe skating up the left wing. Off to the right wing, Lazaro will tip into the offensive zone. Hat-Tricks changing lines. Lazaro crashes in, and it is played up the far wall by Williamson. Into Graham, it's topped at center, tipped up out of play, and 5:06 into the third. We'll step aside in Danbury. 5-2, Columbus leads, and we will be right back from Danbury Ice Arena. 5:06 into the third. Hat-Tricks down 3 in game 1 of the FPHL semifinals. This is the only home game the Hat-Tricks get in this series. Have to try and find any way you can to come back down 3 early in the third. Zach Lazaro will take the face-off in the neutral zone just outside the hat-trick's end. It's won by Columbus. Oklin-Jolin will dump in on McClendon. He steers it aside. McDonald at the side of the net will tip up the far wall. Mealy can't handle it there. It's played around behind on the near wing. Steve Mealy crashes into Petrantonio, who turns it down low. Rips up the far wall for McDonald, who chips to center into the offensive end, but Oklin-Jolin will be there for Columbus. Taking it back behind his own net, 5.5 into the third. Up the near wing, Petrantonio skies it high in the air to center. Bouncing puck at the hat-trick's line. Played out to the neutral zone by McDonald. Lazaro pins Petrantonio in front of the hat-trick's bench on the near wing, and it is played back into the hat-trick zone. 5:50 into the third, 5-2, Columbus on top. Mealy out to center, tipping for Gallagher, but he cannot handle it. Smith in the neutral zone for Columbus, turned it over to Kuznetsov. He'll run back and backhand in to the offensive zone. It tips around behind the net. Corey Anderson dumps back below the goal line. Kuznetsov crashes in but can't find it, and Columbus will work up. Bronner steps into Smith, who banks the center, back into the hat-trick's end, offside, so they'll have to wait, and Columbus will touch up and play it out to center. Carter in the neutral zone ahead. Underwood at the hat-trick's line, stopped, and Danbury will take it ahead. Kuznetsov diving to tip it into the offensive zone. Vanelli will play it around behind his own net. On the near wing, Oklin-Jolin will play it up to the neutral zone and out to center into the hat-trick's end. 13:10 to go in the third. As Atwell plays all the way down the ice, it will be an icing against the hat-tricks. .6:54 into the third. Hat-tricks down 5-2. 5 second period goals for Columbus has made this a 3-goal River Dragons advantage. 13:05 to play in the third period. 5-2 Columbus. Kuznetsov out of his own end, left to right. Bronner off to the far wing. Ruiz down low. His shot is tipped wide by Columbus, who got back to break up the attempt. Right to left, Moskal through center into the hat-trick's end. Onto the right wing, dances between his legs toward the front of the net on his backhand, and he's stopped by McClendon. Off the near wing, Ruiz will take out to center. He plays it into the neutral zone. It hits Nolan, but Bunnell is able to carry it into the offensive end. Dumping down behind the net, Levesque will chase, swatted up the wall, and played up by Williamson all the way down the ice. And will it have enough for icing? It does not, so the hat-tricks turn back for it. 12:20 to go in the third. Hat-tricks down 5-2. Oliver outlets ahead. Lazaro dumps into the offensive end. Hat-tricks will chase after it. Oklin-Jolin up the near wall will have it tipped by Doe, and it is played up, not out. Oliver keeps in, slides it down low, and behind the net, Tom Mealy crashes in. Ian White will take over and chip it all the way out to center. Oliver can't find it in his skates, does, and plays it to Pepe. Banks back to Oliver behind the hat-trick's net to our left. Tipped up the wall, Steve Mealy out to center. Lazaro will crash in there and drop back into his own zone for Oliver. Pepe up the far wing, tipping ahead into the offensive end, but Columbus brings it back the other way. At the hat-trick's line, it's dumped in, 11.5 to go in the third. 5-2 Columbus. Tom Mealy tips up the left side into the Columbus end. McBurney leaves it behind for Carter, who starts up right to left. Underwood, far side, will play through center. It's knocked off a hat-trick skate, but Oklin-Jolin will take over. Into the hat-trick's end in the near corner. Gallagher across, and it will be played out by McDonald. Kuznetsov dumps all the way down into the Columbus end behind the net. It's taken by Ojic. Worked out in front, no one there for the hat-trick's group will intercept. Off to the near wing. Gallagher takes over in the neutral zone, chips it by into the Columbus end, and it is played out all the way down the ice. It will be icing against Columbus. 10:47 left in regulation. Hat-tricks down 3. Time running out in game one. The Hat-Tricks are their only home game of this series. They lost game one in the first round, had to return home to play two and beat Binghamton twice. It will be a tougher task to go on the road and try to win both games in a row. They have to try and come back tonight. Ruiz in the corner will be unable to win the draw. A huge hit late in the offensive end, and it is Columbus taking it out to center. Storjahan into the Hat-Tricks end. It is taken by Atwell, who serves up the wall for Levesque. Turned it over. Moskal in the Hat-Tricks end. Down low, cutting toward the front of the net. On the backhand, he rips it wide of the cage. Storjahan back to the point. It is Great, whose shot goes off a body into the corner. Atwell takes over. 10.25 to go in the third. 5-2. Hat-Tricks trailing the River Dragons in game one. Ripped back into the Hat-Tricks end off the near wing. Lazaro will take it out of his own end. Cross ice to Tom Mealy. Races into the offensive zone. Caught from behind by Graham, who will turn to center. Lazaro intercepts there. Pepe back in his own end will bank it ahead. And Tom Mealy will work into the offensive zone. 2-on-1 with his brother Steve. Across in the slot. The pass behind him. And it was in his skates. He had to kick it to try and keep it alive. Columbus will play it all the way down. And it is an icing against the River Dragons. 9:43 to go in the third period, and the Hat-Tricks trailing by 3. We'll be back. .943 left in regulation. The Hat-Tricks down by 3. Face-off in their offensive end to our right. Near circle, it is Steve Mealy to take against Hunter Bersani. Hat-Tricks leading goal scorer in the playoffs is Steve Mealy. He wins the face-off back to the point. Down low from Tom to Steve, and he will play it back up high. It's intercepted by Columbus out to center. Pepe will steer it back to the far wall. Great intercepts, turns down the ice. Another icing against Columbus. 9:29 left. Face off back in the Columbus end to the near circle. 5-2, River Dragons lead. Hat-Tricks win it. Gallagher blasts from the point. It's blocked by McBurney in front. Lazaro crashes into the far wall. It's Columbus out to center, dumping into the Hat-Tricks end. And it goes for an icing against Columbus. The third straight icing by the River Dragons. The Hat-Tricks looking to try and convert and make this a 2-goal game with enough time left. Steve Mealy's line stays out to try and win this face-off. He does get it back. McDonald unable to keep it in. It's played out to center. Gallagher back to Lazaro, and he'll play ahead. Steve Mealy into the offensive zone. Backhands down low, looking for Tom. It goes wide of him, and Williamson will take over in the corner. Spun up the wall by Columbus, banked out to center by Petrantonio, and cleared into the Hat-Trick zone. Under 9 to play in the third. Hat-Tricks down 3. Columbus, the last few minutes, just content to clear the puck out of its own zone. Not really trying to generate much in the Hat-Tricks end. Left to right into the offensive end. Kuznetsov is stopped at the blue line and turned back. Atwell back inside his own blue line, will play ahead. Gallagher tips to Ojic, dumping into the offensive end. Kuznetsov chases. The Hat-Tricks have changed up their lines in the third period. Ojic on with Kuznetsov and Anderson. And Kuznetsov is skating off the ice, holding his right arm out. and he will be replaced onto the ice by Levesque. Turned into the hat-trick's end by Columbus. Danbury takes back out to center. Racing the neutral zone is Atwell across the Columbus line, caught from behind, and Petrantonio will take it out to center. This Columbus team is ferocious on the back check. Back in the neutral zone, it is Ojic into the offensive end, cannot get by, and it is out at center. Ruiz dancing toward the offensive end, cannot get into the zone. It is Columbus back into the hat-trick's end. Storjahan off to the right wing. Underwood, 7:40 to go in regulation. Hat-trick's down 3. Behind the net, Atwell turning out of his own end. Cross-ice feed for Levesque through center. Into the offensive zone, he'll dump in. It goes wide of McBurney, who plays it back into the corner. Bonnell crashing in on the near wing. Down low, trying to work the puck free in the corner. Has his stick knocked away, and it is played back to him in the corner. He knocks it back down low. It's Underwood up the far wing, out, past Pepe, rolling in on edge, and icing is waved off as it goes in on goal. McClendon works it off to Pepe, and the Hat-Tricks move forward left to right. 7 minutes to go in regulation, down by 3. Steve Mealy tips into the offensive zone, chases in the corner. Pepe will turn it wide, out in front, the shot, rebound in front. Tom Mealy rips it over the bar. A great chance for the Hat-Tricks, and they miss the net. Mealy back on it in the corner, down low, and it's intercepted by Vanelli, cleared out to center. Columbus racing toward the Hat-Tricks end. Oliver able to turn back for it, and Moskal pushes him into the wall. Bersani comes away with the puck, 6.5 to go. Turned down low, tipped away by McClendon into the far wall. Tom Mealy will work up the wing. Chipping ahead, Steve tips into the Hat-Tricks end, stops at the blue line, and it is played down low, steered out in front. It turns back to the point. Gallagher winds, blasts, and it is blocked by McBurney. Rebound to the far circle. Steve can't handle it. It's played out to center. 6:10 to go in the third. Hat-Tricks down 3. McDonald rips it in and hits Lazaro in the helmet. It bounces into the offensive zone, back to center. Gallagher works into the offensive end. The backhand through the goal mouth goes wide, and Anderson takes over, turning it back out in front. Bronner couldn't reach it. Back to the far wing. The shot blocked down by McBurney behind the net. Tipped up and out by Columbus. Hat-Tricks complaining for a penalty. The referee, Joe Testa, says it was deflected off glass. 5:50 left in the third period. Time running out on the Hat-Tricks to try and come back in this game. Near circle, offensive end, Hat-Tricks are unable to win the draw. It's turned up the wall. Columbus turns it over to the Hat-Tricks. Atwell back down low behind the net. Anderson stuffs it out in front. Ojic couldn't get there. Petrantonio to center on the right wing. Across through the neutral zone, off to the near wing, into the Hat-Tricks end, rips it wide. It bounces off the end wall behind the net. Petrantonio there for Columbus. 5.5 to go. Columbus up 3. Turn back to the point. Tip in front by Doe. Kicked out by McClendon. The Hat-Tricks carry to center. 5:20 to go in regulation. Hat-Tricks down by 3. Turned ahead in the neutral zone, and it's played by Columbus into the Hat-Tricks end. 5:10 left. Hat-Tricks down 5-2. Besides a 5-minute and 16 stretch in the second, the Hat-Tricks have controlled much of this game. Columbus into the Hat-Tricks end. Krupp drops for Strojahan. The shot is wide and up over the bar. Ruiz will carry to center off to the left wing. Bonnell into the offensive zone on the far wing. Out in front, Levesque tips on goal. Rebound in front, and it's stopped by McBurney. 4:45 to go in regulation. The Hat-Tricks down by 3. We'll be back. Time running out on Danbury to try and come back in this one. 4:45 left in the third period. Columbus leading 5-2. And the Hat-Tricks are going to start this face-off in the offensive zone with the goalie pulled. Frankie McClendon to the bench. And the Hat-Tricks will have the extra skater on with 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. Down by 3, desperation from the Hat-Tricks. Ruiz in the top line out. He wins the draw to the point. Atwell tips in front. They score! It hit a body and bounced through. McBurney didn't see it. And with 4:40 to go, the Hat-Tricks are within 2. Atwell's shot from the point hits a body. And the Hat-Tricks have some life in the third. His shot, when he was trying to pass it across to the circle, it hit Underwood up high and bounced into the Columbus net. McBurney slid to his right to play the pass. The Hat-Tricks catch a bounce, and now we'll look to capitalize on it. 5-3 the score, Columbus on top, 4.5 to go in regulation. Some life in the crowd, the Hat-Tricks back into the offensive zone. Ruiz kicks it down at the blue line, turns it down low behind the cage. Oklin-Jolin there to play it up the wall. Bonnell intercepts for the Hat-Tricks. 4:20 left in the third. Hat-Tricks down 2. Bonnell turning down low. Levesque will play it across, and Ruiz trying from below the goal line to shoot it toward the front of the net. It is played out to center, and Columbus played it with a high stick, so they'll blow it dead with 4:07 left. 5-3 the score, Columbus on top. The Hat-Tricks just getting the third goal with 4:40 left in regulation. Aaron Atwell getting credit. He did not score during the regular season, and he gets one in the playoffs, a huge one for the Hat-Tricks. 4:07 left, down by 2. Danbury in the neutral zone. Zach Lazaro will take the draw, wins it, and Atwell will dump into the offensive end. Grade gloves it down for Columbus. His outlet flagged down by Lazaro, and the Hat-Tricks will work back into the offensive end. Around the near wing, it's played back to center, and the Hat-Tricks work in the neutral zone. Danbury across the offensive line, down low, found by Columbus and played out. In the neutral zone, Pepe will take over. 3.5 to go in the third. Hat-Tricks down 2. Tipped into the offensive end, wide of McBurney. He'll cover up with 3:27 to go. The Hat-Tricks are going to call a timeout with 3:27 left. An offensive zone face-off for the Hat-Tricks coming up far circle of the Columbus end. We'll see if the Hat-Tricks will keep McClendon off the ice again during the draw. Billy McCreary standing on the Hat-Tricks bench, drawing up a play as the entire team looks on. .327 left in regulation. The Hat-Tricks down by 2. And looking to come back in game 1 of the semifinals at home before heading to Columbus to finish the series with games 2 and 3 if necessary in the coming days. Have to try and find a way to win this game. If the Hat-Tricks are able to, they go to Columbus just needing to win 1 of 2 on the road. McClendon is off the bench. Extra attacker on for the Hat-Tricks. Corey Anderson will take the draw, down by 2, 3:25 left. It's won by the Hat-Tricks at the point. Pepe slides down to Ruiz at the circle out in front. Bonnell one-timer. It's stopped in front of the net. They dig away at it. Rebound, and the shot is stopped. They call a hand pass, and The face-off is going to come back to center ice. McClendon will go back into the Hat-Trick's net. Standing at the hash marks, the neutral zone face-off just outside the Columbus zone to our right. Hat-Tricks down 2 late in game 1, 3:17 to go. Neutral zone face-off, the Hat-Tricks win it. Ruiz will hammer in on goal. It's tipped away by McBurney, chipped out to center. Hat-Tricks can't keep it in, and White will play it all the way down. It tips off a Hat-Trick, so no icing. 3 minutes left in regulation. Hat-Tricks take over in their own zone. Corey Anderson up the left wing for Ruiz. On the right side, Levesque carries into the offensive end. McClendon to the bench, extra skater back on for the Hat-Tricks. Anderson tucks it out in front. It bounces all the way down the ice, and McDonald has to go back all the way behind his own net to grab it. 2:40 left in regulation. Hat-Tricks down a pair. McDonald off to Tom Mealy, tips into the offensive zone. In the far corner, White will swat it up, and it is out of play. They are going to call a delay of game against Columbus. Ian White will go off with 2:32 left. And a delay of game call gives the Hat-Tricks a power play with 2:32 left and down by 2. A Ferrer Electric power play has a window open for the Hat-Tricks. Down 2, 2:32 left on the power play. Goalie pulled 6-on-4 for the Hat-Tricks. Trying to come back late in game 1. Ruiz will take the draw near circle. Offensive zone to our right against Petrantonio. Face-off won by Ruiz. Ojic takes over, rips it on goal. It's blocked by McBurney. He'll glove it and hold on. 4 seconds into the power play for the Hat-Tricks. 6-on-4 advantage with the extra attacker on, and the goalie pulled. Ruiz again at the near circle will win it back to the point. McDonald across Gallagher. Back to McDonald on the right wing. Fans trying to spur the Hat-Tricks on Ruiz. Hard angle shot. It's stopped by McBurney. 5-3 the score. Columbus on top. 2:20 left in regulation. Hat-Tricks on the power play, and the goalie pulled up 6-on-4 in men. On the near wing, it is won by the Hat-Tricks. Turned down low behind the net. Levesque will play it across to the far wing. Ruiz shovels back around near wing. McDonald crashes in, back down low. Levesque, the Hat-Tricks unable to work the puck, are off the perimeter along the boards. It bounces to the circle, and the Hat-Tricks find the puck, and they call a penalty on Bunnell. That'll do it for the Hat-Tricks power play. Bunnell called for a slash with 1:27 left on the original penalty to White. And it will be 4-on-4 for 1:27, 1:59 left in regulation. 4-on-4 for 1:27 before Columbus gets a power play to finish off regulation. Hat-Tricks win the draw in their own zone. Pepe will take it behind his net. Off the right wing, Steve Mealy out to the neutral zone, into the offensive end. Shot wide, they score! It goes in! McBurney flubs it! It goes down between his legs, trickles in! A 1-goal game! 1:45 left! McBurney gives the Hat-Tricks a goal, and the Hat-Tricks down 1 late in the third. The goaltender of the year in the FPHL, and the Hat-Tricks score from center ice. Steve Mealy shot it in on goal, and it bobbled off the glove of McBurney down into the goal. Steve Mealy's 6th of the playoffs. The Hat-Tricks down by 1 with 1:45 left. It's currently 4-on-4 for another 1:08. McClendon races off to the bench. The Hat-Tricks will have 5-on-4 for 1 minute with 90 seconds left in regulation. Steve Mealy rushes up the near wing, out to center, into the offensive zone, tips right on goal, bobbled by McBurney again, and he'll cover up. 1:24 left in regulation. Hat-tricks down by just a goal. .124 left in regulation. Hat-tricks down 5-4. Extra attacker on with the goalie pulled up. 5-on-4 in manpower. And they'll blow this dead. The Hat-tricks tried to get a quick change in late. Is this going to be a penalty on the Hat-tricks for too many men on the ice? It may be. .122 left in regulation. The Hat-tricks had the goalie pulled, but it was a 4-on-4. That makes it a 5-on-4 advantage. They had 6 players on the ice for the face-off, but they blew it dead before they started play. Technically, there was no extra man on while the play was happening, and that is what the decision will be. The faceoff will be back in the Columbus end, right circle. 50 seconds left on the 4-on-4. The Hat-tricks have the empty net to make it a 5-on-4, but then Columbus will get a man out of the box. 1:22 left in regulation. Hat-tricks down 5-4. Levesque wins the draw, back to the point. McDonald's shot, hits a body in front to the wall. They chip up, and McDonald keeps it in. Plays it across to the far wing. Ojic down low, rips it off a body. It's Levesque crashing in, collides with the referee. Hat-tricks trying to dig the puck out. Columbus goes down behind the net. It turns up the wall. Williamson will play it ahead. Underwood at center will work into the Hat-tricks end and into the empty net. That does it for game one. 55 seconds left. Columbus, the empty net goal. The Hat-tricks couldn't get back in time on that puck that went out to center, and it is a 6-4 Columbus lead. Underwood, the empty net goal, and the Hat-tricks trail 6-4 with under a minute left. Face-off at center, won by the Hat-tricks. And on the far wings, Tom Mealy will turn back into his own zone. He's stripped from behind. Doe will turn around in the Hat-tricks end. 40 seconds left in regulation. McClendon will follow the team up the ice. Left to right, Pepe into the offensive end. Down low, goes across, and his pass is played out all the way down the ice. It will go for icing against Columbus with 28 seconds left. 29 to go on the Columbus power play now that White has exited the box. With 28 seconds left in regulation. Hat-tricks have the net empty to even things 5-on-5. 4 forwards out on the ice for the Hat-tricks. Pepe, the lone defenseman. Tom Mealy holding at the point. .28 to go in regulation. Hat-tricks down 6-4. And Columbus is going to call a timeout just as that puck was going to be dropped with 28 seconds left. Columbus had 5 goals in the second period in a span of 5 minutes, 16 seconds. After the Hat-tricks led 2-0 in this game, the Hat-tricks with 2 goals in the third period from Aaron Atwell and Steve Mealy, but An empty net goal from Kirk Underwood has made it back into a 2-goal lead for Columbus. Hat-tricks at the bench drawing something up. Jerome Bichard, I think, just trying to get his team regrouped on the Columbus bench. .28 seconds left, and the shot from the face-off, Ruiz stuffs it wide off of McBurney. It's turned into the corner, and behind the cage, Ruiz chops it out in front. It's cleared by Columbus. Pepe will race back for it, 15 to go, and he'll work it forward. Doe will drop back. Williamson on the backhand out toward the front of the net. It's played across, one-timer. Doe scores into the empty net. It is 7-4 Columbus. And that will do it tonight in Danbury in Game 1. The Hat-tricks for the majority of this game outplayed the River Dragons. It was a 5-minute stretch in the second period that cost Danbury. That goes down as a power play goal for Columbus. And the face-off one at center. The Hat-tricks flip it in on goal, and that will do it. Columbus takes Game 1. 7-4 the final. A 5-goal second period for the River Dragons is too much for the Hat-tricks to overcome. Danbury led 2-0. And a 5-minute, 16-second stretch in the second cost them 5 goals on 10 shots for Columbus during that stretch. The Hat-tricks fall in Game 1, 7-4. A tough task ahead. The Hat-tricks will have to go to Columbus and try to win twice in this best-of-3 series. A place where Columbus this season won 20 out of 28 games in the regular season. The Hat-tricks will have their work cut out, but they did it in the first round. They lost Game 1. They went on to win 2 in a row and force and advance into the semifinal round. They will try again to do it here in in Georgia this coming weekend. Final score from Danbury tonight, 7-4. The Hat-tricks fall to the River Dragons, and that will do it here from Danbury. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Josh Starr. We will have the action of Game 2 for you coming up on Sunday at 6 o'clock from Georgia. Tune in. The Hat-tricks will look to avoid elimination, their 3rd elimination game in their 5th playoff game of the year coming up on Sunday night. Tune in on the Hat-tricks YouTube channel, 6 o'clock puck drop in Columbus. Thanks for tuning in. The Hat-tricks fall 7-4